Welcome to episode 12 of Oakhill with me, Farm Sim Snowy. Welcome back everyone to our farm here on Oakhill. Since the last episode, it's not that much later in time wise. I did think about skipping through to the next day, but then I thought, well, there's quite a bit we can still crack on with. For instance, these 4 fields here and here, if I show you there, they all need their second stage of fertilizing. So if I'd skipped through to the next day, they would have been grown even more, and possibly we wouldn't have been able to fertilize them, or it would have been harder to see where we've gone, or been rather. So we can do that. Field 30 and 32 are ready to harvest, and then obviously what was our cotton field could have something else put in there, but it would make sense to harvest these 2 first. So what we're going to do is crack on with the fertilizing first in these 4 fields. And then we'll have to lease a harvester because we no longer own one because I sold it. And then we'll sort of go from there. I think I split the money up with Jack, as you can see top right, so he was well pleased with that. And the cotton prices are still going up. I mean, like I said, it's not much later in the same day as the last episode, so as you can see they're still going up, which is good for us. We will hold on to that cotton until it maxes out. So fertilizing, what I'm going to do, I've washed all the equipment since the last episode, and this needed a bit of a repair, so I did that. But as we're going to fertilize, to be safe, we're going to swap over to the narrow tyres. I'm sure we will be fine if we went over it on the normal standard tyres, because they're only at their first stage of growth, but I just like to be a little bit more cautious, if that makes sense. See, now that's taken away that front hydraulic. That annoys me when it does that. So we need to go back in here and we want it on 185. I don't think that changed. There we go, front hydraulic, narrow tyres, because I want to put the front weight on the weight on the front, because when we've got the fertiliser spreader on the back it gets a little bit top heavy. Let's zoom out a bit. I think it's in, yeah, that's the same shed. There it is. So we'll get hooked up to that. It still seems really overkill, the amount of shed space we've got, because we've hardly got any equipment. But you know, it's all part of us building our farm up. We're getting there. We're making a bit of progress, I think. It's definitely going to help with the extra fields we've purchased. And it's a bit of a shame that we've got no harvester, but you know, that's a piece of equipment that's, you know, it's not going to be used all the time like this tractor, so we can cope without one of them. We'll just lease one when we can, and then when we can afford one, we'll get another one when we hit the big time. So there you go, look at that field ready to harvest. That is the oat field, I think. I must remember to turn on straw swap, because the last few times I've done that I didn't do it. I know it's not going to be a massive amount of straw coming off the field, but it's all going to help. Like I said before, we can use that for Jack's cows, because obviously we've got no need for straw at the minute. We could bale it and sell it, or sell it loose, but it's not really worth a lot of straw unless you've got tons of it. It's not worth selling it, so we'll keep hold of that, and we can use that for Jack's cows. The only issue we will have is storing it, because our silo is not a multi-fruit one like that, so we won't be able to store the straw in there. But possibly we could take it over to Jack's farm and tip it in one of his sort of open sheds, and then just use it as and when. So if we just check on our little map here, he says I missed a couple of little bits over that far side. I will sort that out in a minute. So yeah, it's a lot easier to see where you've been when it's at this sort of growth stage. As soon as the crops start getting a little bit taller, you got to keep checking the map, which can be a little bit hit and miss and a bit tedious. But we've got a nice spread width on this spreader, so it shouldn't take us too long. Tractor's probably going to struggle a little bit coming up here. It shouldn't be too bad because it's not that heavy. That different if we're towing a full trailer full of grain. Should be the last little bit. It's already looking much better. I'll do that tiny little bit there. Sort out those two little spots. I hope it's still only two little spots we've missed, so we'll just have a quick check. Yeah, just down there, so I'll quickly do them, and then I'll head over to the other fields and get those all done. I'll go from about there, I think. There's a spot there to the right I can see. There we go. Perfect. That's field 61 done. So I will crack on. I will do 62, 31 and 33, and then I will see you in a second and we'll look at getting ourselves a harvester. Now we shouldn't need anything too powerful because I think those two fields aren't too steep. This field here we just done is our worst field, but I'll have a look at them as I drive past and make that sort of judgment. So I'll see you in a second, guys. So that is all the rest of the fields done, fertilised. As you can see, those little spots of lime, they annoy me, but I can't do much with them. So that all done, another job done. That tank there, the fertiliser tank, is a bit of a rip-off, but I think we're just going to have to keep it for now. Obviously I've been trying to use different things on this gameplay series, got a really good Buy Anything silo on the No Man's Land series. If you haven't been watching it, let's just get in there a bit. But like I say, I'd like to try and use some different things on my gameplays, so we're not using all the same things all the time. Anyway, let's swap these wheels back over, if we can get in there without wrecking the joint. So customize, standard wheels back on. No, that's standard for the, so we want that, don't we? Standard wheels. See, that is saying 6616, which is the model we want. But if you look at the tractor, it says 6612 and it says top left 135 horsepower. So just to be safe, we're going to do that. And we've got a front loader on there. Good to go. I have to attach the weight again. Right, so we need to head up to the shop now because it's going to be buying the harvester. Not buying. That's wishful thinking. We're a long way off from that at the minute. Leasing the harvester. And I think we'll probably just get, seeing as it is meant to be a Massey Ferguson and Fent dealership up there, we'll probably just get the standard in-game Massey Ferguson harvester, which is a very good starting harvester if you're starting up sort of from scratch or something like that. It's got decent horsepower on it. It should easily be able to cope with those two fields. They're not huge and they're not steep, so we'll definitely get hold of that. There's some lovely colours on this map. Those three fields over there, I know they're only green and yellows, but it's very nice. Wouldn't fancy harvesting many of those fields over there though. We'll just settle for what we've got. Right, let's cut through the animal dealer. Excuse me. And we'll park this up over here so we're not in Lee's way. And let's go and see what he's got. So yeah, this guy here is definitely going to be fine for us. Still going to be a bit pricey because the next one down is only 180 horsepower. I just think that might struggle, and obviously we have got modded ones in, but let's try and stick to the Massey Fergusons and Fents if we can on this map. Obviously it's not going to be possible on every piece of equipment, but that is my aim. We'll keep it all standards. That's going to cost us 10,000 just over. And I realised when I was fertilising, look, I still had the currency set to euros from when I'd last did my No Man's Land, so I'll swap that back over to pounds, so we're fitting in with the area better. So we're going to lease that, which is going to take a fair bit of chunk of money off of us. And now we need a header. Now I think we will probably go with a troweled header because we need to tow it back, so it could get a little bit difficult choosing one here. We've got the Russell Mash one, which should connect up. They normally connect any sort of header to the harvester. And we've got these. We did have one of these earlier, didn't we? A 13.7, but they are a bit pricey. We had one of these So that's a 9. That's 58.5. How much was that Russell mash? I've forgotten already. Just trying to keep our costs down here. That's the same. Right. It's only 9 meters, but our fields aren't huge. I think we'll lease that, so that's another. That's nearly 3,000. So that's cost us 13,000, pretty much, all of that. So what I'm going to do is just quickly double check this will hook up. It should do. Like I say, most of the headers will connect up to any other harvester. As long as we get the symbol come up. Yeah, there we go, that's fine. Right, so we get attached to that. I've just thought actually, I think it's got a tow hitch. I didn't even think to, there we go. Didn't even think to check that. Right, now I need to work out the best way to get to those two fields. We probably could go all the way down there and this way in, which might make sense, instead of coming all through our yard and zigzagging. So I'll head down there, I'll come down this way, and when I get to about here I'll bring you back in. Here we are. So this is going to be a bit awkward trying to get this on and through. Hopefully we can squeeze through like that. Let's turn the old beacons off. Alright pal, I'm gonna unfold that. Unfold the harvester. Right, this is only soybeans, so we don't need the straw swath. And obviously in a second I'm going to have to get sat down on the deck. Looks a bit high to me. Let's see what happens. Nope, that's working, that's fine. Yeah, obviously once we've finished this field, well, we might even need it sooner than that actually. We're probably going to have to get the tractor and trailer over here to unload this. Hopefully we should make a decent amount of this field. It's not a bad size. It's got a little bit of a slope to it here and there. I think this little harvester, well it's not little, but should cope pretty well. So we'll just crack on with this. So we've almost got a full tank of soybeans. As soon as we have, I'll have to go and grab the Massey and our trailer. Let's just go careful here so we don't damage the crops. I think it's 8,600 litres. There we go. I will go and grab the tractor, the trailer, unload this, I'll finish this field off and I'll bring you back in at the end to see how much we get, and then we'll move on to the oat field, which is just there, which isn't very big, but it's all going to help us. So I will see you shortly. That's the last little bit. Another 5,500 litres, not too bad. So we'll add that to the trailer and we will keep these soybeans because obviously we've got more currently growing, and then we can sell them all when the price is right for us. I can sell them as one big lump. Maybe it's this trailer actually then, because obviously this is a different harvester that makes it look odd like that. I'm guessing it's something to do with that trailer. But never mind. That is all well and good. Right, let's get the harvester down sort of ready for the oat field. Something like that. And we will get this fella unloaded into our silo. I'm pretty sure we've got, yeah, only 306 litres from last time because we couldn't quite get a full trailer load. So that's going to all add to that. We'll get this tipped off, we'll come back up because obviously we'll need the trailer again for the oats. Very nice. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Go in cab, it's a bit easier going in and under the trees like that. Right, let's get this opened up. Open both up so we can drive through. And then we'll unload the soybeans. So then that gives us 14,434. Then obviously we've got this field, which is, well, I was going to say it's our biggest field, but is it now? Because these two are quite big as well. So we have got 3 decent sized fields. It's a shame we couldn't plough this 31 and 33 together, but we've got the hedge dividing them there, so that's not an option. But we've got 3 decent sized fields now. So we'll head back on up to the harvester. We will make sure we've got straw swath enabled. I suppose what we could do with the straw, we're going to need to have some form or method of collecting it. We could probably bale it and then store it over at Jack's. But again, that's going to be all extra costs, leasing a baler but we'll double check that later. Right, help menu on just to check. Enable straw swath. See, it wasn't on, but it is now. I had a little bit of an issue with this header. It kept having a sort of funny 5 minutes. If I raised it up, it would not sit down on the deck properly. It did go a little bit too far sometimes and damaged some of the soybeans, but there we go, we've got straw. Excellent. Probably be quite a decent amount of straw, I would have thought. Certainly going to create a few bales if we do bale it. That gives us another job to do. The jobs are coming thick and fast. Anyway, I will get this field harvested. I don't think, well, actually saying that, it's going up quite quick, the oat. I was going to say there's a tree there. Probably only get about, come on, a harvester load. Oh look, missed a tiny little bit, I can't leave that. It's right on that tree edge though, come on, we got it. Yeah, I was going to say we'll probably only get a harvester full, but it is going up pretty quick. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be very tight. I might have to just back into the hedge slightly. Not too worried about the header much, it's not ours. Lee won't mind a little bit of damage. Right, I will crack on with this. Try not to hit this fence. Last little bit of the oat field. Nearly said Oakhill then. There we go, that is it. So let's turn that off. 7,338 off of here. Quite a decent amount of straw, I would say. So we'll go and grab our tractor and trailer. And we'll check the price of the oats. If they're reasonably good, we might go and sell now, because we haven't got any need for oat really. We haven't got any horses or anything like that. I mean, it could be a crop that we grow every now and then. We could save onto them, build them up. Let's have a quick look. So oats, the best price is South Grain, which is quite a regular haunt for us. That's not too bad, but I have known oats to go on into the thousands. Is it worth keeping though? I think what we'll do is we'll run down, we'll go to South Grain. Let's get rid of it. And we'll probably call it there for this episode. Just want to check on our fields a second. So everything's up to date and good to go. So these 3 fields are ready to have new crops in them, providing they don't need any. So field 30 needs liming before we do that. That's not a problem, so that could be next episode. And then we can lease another seeder, probably that one we had before. I really like that one, and seed these 3 fields. They'll be ready to go. And it's 5:27 now in game, so it will probably be a new day for the next episode. We'll go out this way because it's a little bit quicker going this way. I mean, yeah, if we sell that, the oats, it's going to give us around about £7,000, isn't it? Which isn't too bad. Like I say, we could have held on to it, but it's just going to be sat there. How long is it going to be sat there? And are we actually likely to grow any oats again anytime soon? That is what we've got to sort of think about and ask ourselves. Nice young bit of corn growing there in that field. I think that's clear. That pillar's in the way. I always say that, but it is. Sunflowers there on the left, ready to harvest. So into south grain. There's not actually any horses in this map at the minute. If we did want to do horses, we would have to add them in ourselves, but that isn't something I want to do just yet. So we'll sell the oats. Here we go. Let's get decent camera angles. Yeah, so just over 7,000. That is not too bad. I'm happy with that. So we finished the episode on 57,472. Obviously I will off hire unleash the harvester and header before the next episode. But yeah, I think we'll call it there. So if you have all enjoyed the episode, please give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.